Absolutely. Yep. Now that dust has settled, I'm going to ask you guys, all of you that supported Kamala, I just want to ask, were you satisfied with the marketing strategy? Were you satisfied? If the marketing strategy was a little different, do you think they could have won it, or was the patriarchy too strong because they're blaming chauvinist men and black men, and they couldn't blame that, so now they're blaming Latin men, men. The marketing strategy was different. Could she have won? Or are you satisfied? Did the marketing strategy bother you? Was you jamming to Meg Thee Stallion? I'm just curious. That was a president. This woman was running for president, and she got a picture with Meg Thee Stallion like that, with her tongue out her mouth. I mean, this is some phenomenal stuff, but we're gonna talk about it. So, Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, this Painful Excellence podcast. Here for the first time, enjoy the ride. If you're not here for the first time, you already know how we do over here. Dual streaming on Pep Talk and on Drew Titan LLC, because that's how we do. Let's do this roll call because I want to get down to the business. 704 Joe, Mark Wunderlich, Son of Tank, J Man, Derek Gaines, the legend. Now, it's not quite cold yet. It's getting there, though. Jimmy Bernard, Lamar Griffin, Mind of Mansa Musa. My brother, main biker, Todd Swindle. Phenomenal Mexican, my brother, Clarence McLean, in the building. Paul Carrick, Champion Heart. Young Hollywood, Andre Jones, salute. So let's get to it. Let me ask y'all, you know what? I'm going to put up a poll here. Let's start a poll. Were you satisfied with Kamala's marketing for her candidacy? There you go. There you go. So I'm just going to put that there. Yeah, I'll put it up on Drew Titan LLC also. Start poll. Were you satisfied with Kamala's market? Oh, I got a lot of things going on here. So I have it up on both channels. Shaquan, salute. Big Joe Townsend in the building. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because on the outside looking in, and I'm just watching, I was offended. Young Deezy, Intelligent Savage, Snoopy, what's going on? Derek Gaines, the legend, part of the P.E.P for over a year. He says Kamala raised $1 billion in campaign funds, only end up $20 million in debt. She had to pay for those stars to support her. Still, some didn't get paid. You know what? This is, with each passing moment, this became an ish show. It sure did. Shogun, salute. J-Man, salute. Now, I want you to look at the characters that I put in this meme, because all of these people supported Kamala, and this is who she put out on Front Street. She was putting out rap concerts, and that was supposed to help her win. But let me be clear. Every year, it falls down to the black vote. What are we going to do? Michael Ray, salute. What are you N-words going to do? You're voting Democrat. They always look for us to vote Democrat. You know, and they wanted to secure the vote because there was something about these last 4 years that they didn't feel confident. They didn't feel confident, and justifiably so. And these last 5 years have been very, very pivotal. A lot has been going on. A whole lot has been going on. And it became a very, very dark place. The political atmosphere. You know this picture, so I think y'all pretty much get what I was trying to say. As far as making my point with this meme, I want you to read something first. Just in time for the 2022 midterm elections, No Voting, No Bucking aims to motivate young Black citizens to vote by calling out that exercising your basic civic duty of voting is the biggest turn on of all. So they tried to get young people to the polls in 2022. And they tried to make it sexual. How do they try to make it sexual? I'll explain it. They tried to make it sexual. And you see the biggest turn on? See, words are important. You know what they did? They went out and got this fat Black man with the BBL. And he and Trina on the far right over there made a video, and she looks long in the tooth right now because she's in her 40s and she hasn't had a hit for like 25 years. So they dug her up and they got Saucy Santana and they did a song. It was a video called No Vote, No Bucking. When I first saw the video, so people told me about it. And I thought that it was a joke. I didn't know who Saucy Santana was. I said, is this guy for real? And then he's in the video and I'm like, and here's what got me annoyed. That's supposed to get young Black people to vote because that's a turn on. Who did the Democratic Party think we are? From fat homosexual Black men to an alleged Black female candidate who washes her collard greens in the tub, child. That's who they thought. Meg the Stallion twerking on stage. That's who we are. That's who the Dems think we are. When you want to secure, because understand, Joe, what up? And Stormy, salute. Understand, whenever it comes time, we're only 13% of the population. Let me point this out. We'd be at least 26% if the deletion rate wasn't so high. Yeah, I said that. You're fighting over Roe vs. Wade. Okay. When I told people we're only 13% of the population in this nation, they say, well, that can't be right. Why? Because you live in a black neighborhood and all you see is black people. Leave your neighborhood. It's not that many of us. There should be more. You know why? Because y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all been doing what y'all wanted to do. And what I'm saying is, and I need you to listen carefully, it is your body, and it is your choice. But you know what? If the government started taking away these programs that basically award you for being a single mother, you'd be reluctant to be that. Can the church get an amen? That's all I'm saying. Some of these women think having kids is a meal ticket. Case in point, that black chick that went viral on TikTok talking about, you know, she's a welfare queen and she taught her oldest son how to milk the system and get all this food on welfare. She got like 6 different baby daddies. Y'all remember that chick? I talked about her. Here's the thing. That's not new. None of this is new behavior. There's a lot of women. I'm not saying all women do it. But we need to stop asking. We need to stop acting like every single mother got bamboozled by some dude. This is called accountability. They pick these losers. They pick them. Not all of them do that, but they pick them. The facts, data, and statistics point towards that. And if you take away these benefits, if you put these single moms on the timeline, okay, look, your baby's an infant, you got 2 years. Your ass got to go back to work. You're working because you know you're a strong black woman or white woman or Spanish woman. You're a strong, independent woman. You have to contribute to society because we're not going to sit at home and, you know, pay. We're going to pay for you. We can't afford that. You got to get it in the workforce, man. Some of these chicks can't even find who the father is. What's the data on women, men not being the biological father to these kids, and they're finding out down the road, or they finding out at the hospital? This is disgusting. Miles Ahead podcast. Unfortunately, that's correct, and they don't want to admit that. Black martial arts. Eric Jordan. Salute. If I missed you in the chat, know that I love you. But this is true. The numbers point to it. 1965, start there. I talk about this all the time. I'm not the only person. I'll talk about it more. I got a show coming up. They chose Uncle Sam, not us. And when I've talked to women about this, you know what they say? Oh, well, you know, Pop, meaning the grandfather when he was a youngin'. Oh, he had families all over the place. They always think about the worst of their grandfathers or great-grandfathers. They think the worst. But if they heard the worst, who did they hear it from? Grandma, who gave birth to your mom, who's now a single mother because you don't know your father, you don't like your father. And a lot of the times when I'm having a conversation with these women, guess what? They're single mothers. So you have a paper trail, a human paper trail. You want light, gas, and free food? Here's a trade-off. You can't have an able-bodied man living in your house. What kind of deal is that? But y'all took it. And what I'm saying is, through generations, all right, y'all are more free today to do whatever. Y'all been more free in the last 3-4 decades to do whatever you wanted to do. And y'all wanted to behave like the men y'all claim y'all didn't like. So y'all, y'all was saying why do I have to be a street walker? But a man, he sleeps with a bunch of women, he's a stud. That's what they used to call men. Now they call studs these lesbians. That's whatever. But why do y'all want to behave like the men that your parents who had a mind on their shoulder that said, don't be like this guy, he's sleeping around? Why would you as a woman want to do that? So y'all doing it. And what happened? We're still 13% of the population. Some of you ladies, y'all can't complain about police and white people killing black people, because some women had, listen, I know of a chick that had 8 ABs. 8. And that was before she hit her 40s. She was responsible for deleting more black people than a little bit. Her body, her choice though, right? Yeah. And this is the result of your choice. And all I'm saying is the government needs to take away these benefits. Put them on the timeline. I'm not saying stop the benefits. Put them on the timeline saying, okay, you got 2 years. But you got to make a decision. Go to school or just get a job. But we're not going to be paying for you to ride through life. Some women, once that kid gets a certain age, you know what they start doing? Spitting out other babies. And who's impregnating these women? Jump offs. Dudes that's not marrying them. Dudes that's pull-out game is horrible. Dudes that just don't want to be around. From other countries come up here. Yo, I'm leaving in about a week. She ain't gonna ever find me. They go back home, wherever they from. Jamaica, somewhere in the Caribbean, somewhere. I've seen this before. Yo, where's her father? I went to where I thought he lived, and his parents or his uncle said, nah, he was just here for the summer. Came up here in May, had a little summer fling. She was 2 months late. That dude bounced in September. Well, I need to know because this is his. They ain't gonna tell you anything. Well, he live in Jamaica. That's all I'm telling you. How do I know it's his? Goodbye. Don't harass me. He ain't live here. You knew that. Sisters are doing it for themselves. They're doing it to themselves. Derek Gaines, a legend, in that super chat, he says they don't even support their own stuff. Just look at the WNBA. I guess that's our fault too. Tampons in the men's restroom. Yup, our fault too. Yup, bro. Tampons in the male restroom. You know how bizarre? You know, it's 2024 and we're still indecisive on what a male and a female is. I'm not engaging in that conversation. It's stupid. It's stupid. Flatboy, what up? It's stupid. Don't talk to me. What's your gender? It's how I feel. No, do you have ovaries or testicles? I have ovaries. You're a woman. I don't care what you say. Go on and get them removed. You just mutilated yourself. Yeah, Joe Townsend. Yep. 8. And she wasn't even 40 yet. What in the name of irresponsible is that? It's irresponsible. That's what it is. But to a lot of people, that's what Kamala represented. She represents, Sheila, salute. She represented all of this stupidity. And it was ridiculous. That's what they represented. Now, are they intangibles? Yeah. But think about what you're trying to get. You're trying to capture, because most people that are decided, they've been decided. People that didn't like this administration, they've been decided 2 years in. Your job was to sway them. So when I had these ladies come through and try and challenge me, I told them there, I was like, yo, you're not doing a good job. You're trying to sway my opinion. I'm open to the conversation, but you didn't do it. They failed. We had 2 come in here. They failed. They failed miserably. You wasn't trying to sway my opinion. You was trying to argue with me. You have to take my points respectfully lay down your points, and if your points supersede my points, you may change my mind. They didn't even do that. They were just on here arguing. What you did was make me speak a little louder, and I may have changed someone else's opinion. You have to talk to the voters that are not really politically inclined, and they're just sitting there saying, okay, I'm hearing this a lot, but what about this? And unfortunately, I didn't see it. I like to keep things very simple. 2022, what I just read to you. MF, what up? What I just read to you was their marketing towards the young black voters. They're telling them that voting is sexy. So you get a rundown 40-year-old stripper, 40-plus-year-old stripper, and a fat black homosexual man. Talk about no vote, no bucking. Me, as an adult, knocking on 50, saw that and I got enraged. I could not believe what I was looking at. My children who are in their right frame of mind saw that and was like, what is this? Because they know how I feel. I'm like, what is that? What is that? No vote, no bucking. A play on words with a V instead of an F. And that was to get your nephews, your nieces, your younger siblings, if they're first-time voters, that was supposed to make them run to the damn polls. Are you kidding me? I got you, Eric Jordan. Salute to my brother Eric Jordan in that Cash App. Much love and appreciation, man. He said, Miguel won't let me send a super chat. Thanks, Miguel. Oh, my. Yeah, exactly. As soon as I said... Miguel! As soon as I said Saucy Santana, I'm talking about his boo. So, of course, can't silence me. Of course. Paul, what's up, Paul? Peter the Great, salute. Now, like I said, there are some intangibles. And please don't get me confused. Just because I'm speaking about her doesn't mean I'm some Trump guy. No. The question is, were you satisfied with the marketing strategy of Kamala Harris? That's what I'm talking about. Don't talk to me about Trump's policies or her policies. That's a whole nother conversation. Were you? Because she was talking to black people. The focus was on us. Were you satisfied? And if you're not black, did you look at that and say, is that what they like? MF says, seems like the Dems finally realized the black vote isn't guaranteed. The vote was more dispersed this election. And let me add to that. The facts, data, and statistics stated that the same amount of black people, which was like 12% that voted for Trump, it was the same exact, they voted the same for Trump. Wasn't even us. They wanted to blame black men so bad. It wasn't us then. It wasn't us now. Sorry, but not sorry. Remember when I said Obama came and he thrashed black men and wasn't even us? Remember the example I used? Y'all remember back in school where it was one kid and that kid was a known problem child, but because he was acting up, the teacher got him pissed off and the whole class got in trouble? This ain't the military. You take him and remove him out the classroom. Why are you punishing us? Why we got to get extra homework? Because of his dumbass. And you know he's a dumbass. Give it to him and call his parents. What are you doing? Why are you punishing us? You know it's him. You ever had one of those? Of course, I had that as far back as I can remember. What was we supposed to do? Keep him in line? Now, when you're in a paramilitary organization, that's different. You tell them, yo, shut up. Shut up. Because as soon as we get out of here, you getting jumped. Shut up. ridiculous. But to get the black vote, you talk about washing collard greens in the bathtub to identify with us. I'm sure, I don't know where all of y'all are from, but if y'all got family in the deep South like I do, I've been around slayed pigs, and I've seen the chitlins getting cleaned. Smelt it too, it's disgusting. I've never seen my family from the deep South wash no collard greens in the mother effing bathtub. I've never seen that. I never heard of that. Never heard of that. It was a farce. And I'm like, I'm looking around like, who does that? What is she talking about? Who's she trying to identify with? Big Joe Townsend in that super chat, much love. He said, my daughter is an honor roll student who has an A+ in advanced French 2. She can't relate to them, Megan and Cardi B or Glorilla. I was pissed, exactly. And they marched it. Now this woman, Kamala Harris, she's the vice president of the United States, man. Which means at any time if Biden kicked the bucket, she was in charge. She's there now. She made some decisions. A lot of people didn't like them, but she's made some decisions. So I want you to think about this, y'all. Tay-Tay, I want you to think about this. With all of her education, and she's vice president, and with all of that education, when she announced her candidacy, when she said she was running for the presidency of the United States, the first thing she did was go get Meg Thee Stallion. That was supposed to put you over? Can you name one raunchy white singer that sings about her butt and you know, twerking all over the place? Name one. What's that girl? She used to be a Disney kid, and then she started twerking to separate herself, saying, look, I'm grown now, I'm twerking. Remember her? What's her name? Is that Miley Cyrus? Hannah Montana? Who is that? I can't keep up. I don't know these people. But whoever that is, let me ask y'all a question. That was Molly? Let me ask you a question. Did they run and get her to start twerking on stage for Donald? We twerk for Trump. It sounds kind of good, right? We twerking for Trump. Aaron, salute. Joe Townsend says Elon Musk might be a weirdo, but he a billionaire. Where was Miss Harris billionaire endorser? She's 20 million in debt. I just read that today. And Melon and salute. And Derek Gaines just mentioned that. $1 billion of endorsement, 20 million in debt. Because the acts had to get paid. They didn't do that for free. Which makes me wonder, did they really stand on business? Did they say, no, Kamala, sister girl, because we're the sisterhood. We got to get you in that seat. Did they do that? Bill Gates donated to her? How much? Because she's 20 million in debt. And that guy got money. I want to know how much. Oh, Jimmy Bernard, you're right. It's not too far off topic. That episode where She-Hulk was twerking with Meg Thee Stallion and She-Hulk said, oh my God, you're my hero. That was the last episode I watched. I said, done. You could have took that She-Hulk series and really made it good. Me and Stormy talk about things like there was so many directions they could have went to. But they goofed that damn thing up. We went through 4 years of woke. It was on our TV, it was in our movies, and it was disgusting. It almost ruined the MCU, the Marvel universe. It ruined the DC universe. It was everywhere. And I was disgusted. And I said, I can't listen. Woke is how Jonathan Majors is no longer in the MCU. They had to rehash the whole goddamn thing. He was proven to be telling the truth. Still got fired. We can do no right. Where were the sisters standing in the pocket for Jonathan Majors? Instead, you know what they did to him? That's what he get for dating a white woman. Think about that. There's that. Kevin Samuels died. They danced on his grave. There's that. Right? They said before Jonathan Majors had his issues, I did a live. I didn't even talk boxing that morning. I did a live talking about how they said he has a slave face because he has strong black features, wide nose, wide jawbone. But I said he's in shape. He's a multimillionaire. He's getting a lot of work. He deems himself, I don't know how long he's been a millionaire, but he's on his way to being high value because you have to be high value for over 5 years. I think that was the rule. I don't remember it offhand. He's well-spoken. That was the only street situation he had, and it was with who? A white woman. But before that, they were talking about how ugly his face was. And I did a whole live like, yo, how dare y'all? If there's something that proves that men can do no right, that was it. And that was before he went through it with old girl. And she lied on him. He's literally caught on camera running from her. And then before he went home, he went to the police, said, yo, she's in the crib. I don't know where she is. I don't want no problems. They go into his house. I think he had a condo somewhere in Manhattan. And she's asleep, drunk, in his walk-in closet. But because she hurt her finger when he was trying to defend himself and he jumped out the Uber, they hit him with that. And I hope he's okay. And I hope he's still in shape. And I hope someone, once time heals wounds, I hope he gets back on the screen somewhere. But never mind the fact that that was a white woman. It was a woman, period. But the sisters say, yo, thank you, Timothy Taylor. Timber Samuel's dead, and there was all this joy. Cynthia G can get on here on YouTube and say, if you're pregnant, talking to black women, if you're pregnant with a black baby boy, delete the pregnancy. She said that. And she referred to black men as bandits. The bandits. The bandits. And I'm like, what is her deal? And then what did we find out? She's a single mother, right? She has a black son. Why didn't she delete that? And guess what? She procreated with who? A bandit. I forget dude's name, but he got like 2 or 3 different baby mothers. And he has kids out of wedlock himself. And she let him smash raw dog and procreated with him. So she's telling black women, do as I say, not do as I do. And though that's who those chicks want to follow. When did Kevin Samuels say to do anything remotely close to what she said? He was pro-family. In fact, for 3 years, he was telling men, stop, put down the video game, get a haircut, get a job. If you're a single man, you need to be working 60 hours a week. Dress better, stop dressing like a little boy, and become the best version of yourself. He was doing that for 3 years. Nobody cared until that women imposed her conversation on the show to talk about something he wasn't even talking about. And that was average at best. And that was his viral moment. And all the sisterhood saw was him telling a woman the truth. She called and asked for a rating, and he gave it to her. And they got mad at him. And he monetized all of that. And when that man passed away, y'all danced on his grave. I'm like, wow. But y'all celebrate Cynthia G. Well, you know what? Y'all can have everything you wanted. Y'all didn't need no man with bums, with scrubs. Remember scrubs? Remember TLC scrubs? Remember that? I was in the 90s. I remember that. I saw it early then. I said, look at this. And shout out to Sporty Thieves. They came back with pigeons. Shout out to them. There are scrubs. There are pigeons. But according to the facts, data, and statistics, a majority of black men are not that. And when the internet caught heat and we were actually documenting these cases, Oprah had to come off of her lies and say that black men are the most involved fathers in their kids' lives. She didn't say white men. She didn't say Asian men. She didn't say Latin men. She said black men. Because somebody was going to burst her bubble. Shamar, salute. And because she made a living off of taking the crap on black men. So all of these things that I'm talking about, it led up to this moment. So I watched this thing like, okay, she's running for the presidency. What is she going to do? Why did she get Megan Thee Stallion and not Kendrick Lamar? Think about what I'm saying. Why didn't she dig up Nas instead of, because Nas he's an artist, but you know, he's not out there anymore. And his music is more mature. It's way more mature. Why didn't you bring out the smart rappers? Why didn't you dig up Common in support of you, if they support you? Well, if you're paying, they're supporting. Why would you get Meg Thee Stallion, who promotes sex and I think violence to a degree? Why would you get Cardi B, who promotes sex and violence? The woman that openly stated that she had men drugged and robbed them. She got to sit down with Joe Biden. I said, what's going on here? What's going on here? Rosie Perez 2.0 with that accent. Yeah, you're right, Jamel. They probably wouldn't go, but worth a try. Why didn't you have the Roots playing on there and Black Thought rhyming for you? Why didn't you do that? You couldn't dig up Queen Latifah. You got Trina instead of Queen Latifah to get on there talking about UNITY. That make more sense. That would make more sense. You couldn't dig up Lauryn Hill. Who are you trying to reach out to? And don't tell me that they're too old and the younger cats won't remember them. Those cats don't know who Trina is. And what straight man is gonna be convinced to vote by Saucy Santana? This was a nightmare. I'm explaining to you why they lost. The marketing was an ish show. It was crazy. Derek Gaines, the legend, back in that super chat, he said, Jonathan Major's new movie is called Magazine Dreams, comes out in 2025. I hope his movie does great and he wins an Oscar. I hope so, bro. I'm gonna Google that. Because that woman lied on him and the matriarchy stole his career, man. Stole it. And it's not right. It's not right. I don't appreciate any of that. That's ridiculous. He said Lauryn Hill would have showed up 3 hours late. Probably. But I'd rather wait for 3 hours to see Lauryn Hill than to watch Megan twerk. That does not represent us. Cardi B does not represent us as a community. Saucy Santana doesn't represent us as a community. Glorilla doesn't represent us as a community. I mean, this was disgusting, y'all. This was disgusting. This was completely disgusting. And I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. I was offended from day one. I'm like, Meg the step for what? For what? You know what those people should have done? They could have announced their support on their own YouTube channel or social media, but Kamala shouldn't have paraded them for the world to see. Because even if the simplest of elderly went to Google and said, I don't know who these people, and then went to Google to look them up or YouTube to look them up, they'd be like, oh my God, that's the black vote? Y'all remember how heated I got with Tiara Mack? Vote Tiara Mack, and she was twerking on her head in a thong, and she's part of the broken wrist community. Shout out to Miguel.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
Right? And I said, wait a minute. She's a black woman, and she's in a political position, so I know she's very educated. And in order to get votes, she gets into a thong and twerks on her head. And then that made me look at some of her policies. One of the things that I saw that someone told me about, Project Leroy, salute. One of the things that I saw was I forgot how it was worded, but she wanted to teach her first grader about masturbation. I don't even live in the state that she represents. And I wanted to go upside her head with an iron skillet. That was ridiculous. They need to throw her out the state for that. Nobody should vote for her. And anybody that voted for her after knowing that, they need to be watched. They need their internet watched. That'd be all the websites. They need to be watched. Because that is ridiculous. I'd like to meet the parent that thought that was okay. It's not okay. I wasn't satisfied with this campaign. Even if I was pro Kamala, I'd be embarrassed. Like, what are they doing? What the hell's going on? Why are they doing this? Why her? What is going on here? Okay, she's gonna get it together now. Is that Cardi B? Is that Cardi B? Light eye salute. Is that Cardi B with the failed marriage? Is that Cardi B that says she don't let her kids listen to her music? Is that Cardi B? Have y'all ever listened to a Trina song? Girl, you know now. You remember that? That's a little before some of y'all time. That's over 20-something plus years ago. You know now. Do about 5 or 6 best friends. I was like, who is this? Even back then, I was like, who is this? Remember that? Trick Daddy? Trina? And now she's telling you no vote, no bucking. Some 40. Now she run down. She's in her 40s. And she run down now. And they paired her with a fat black homo with a BBL. I'm not kidding. Talk about no vote, no bucking. Were you satisfied with the marketing strategy of Kamala Harris? She blew it off of that alone. That alone. Didn't even get the bring back Public Enemy.